Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayera. Yesterday, I did my like a usual, like my podcast, like normally, and I wanted to put it on my YouTube channel only on audio because I said it yesterday. I would do only audio, and still I would do it on audio, but also you want to see a live visual, but the problem was that I got blocked by ESPN First Take because I was leaking the video of the argument of LeBron James on social media negativity on on my podcast. So I had to completely delete it on my YouTube channel, and now I'm gonna restart all over, but instead of like to restart all over, I'm gonna recap it a little bit what I said on my previous video before I delete it. So for now on, we're gonna talk about it and restart all over again. So to me, it happened. It happened to a lot of YouTubers. Video they had to be blocked because of copyrights. Yeah, I forgot to say copyright, but you understand what I meant. Blocked because of copyright. So right now, I'm gonna restart all over, and let's roll. But before we start the podcast, I want you guys to do me a favor. You can listen to this podcast on Amazon Music, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. And also, don't forget to go to my YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True Podcast with Pascal Mayala. You can see a lot of the video that I talked about, a lot of topics that the people are around me or around the social media that we're talking about, sports, the culture, or sneakers, but sometimes sneaker I will probably talk about it sometime. But also you can watch it on like I said on my YouTube channel. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, notify, leave your comment on the video or leave the comment any news on my on the community, and don't forget to subscribe. And I see there's 34 people likes. I want people more liking this video. Be subscribed and let's roll. So let's talk about Thursday night football game. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Brown. Um, I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it right now. Right now with my video, I'm gonna share it, and I'm gonna read the stat on my phone on my phone right now. So great win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Uh, Actually, no, sorry. Great win for the Cleveland Brown, and last week, actually 2 days before, I predicted that uh the 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 Steelers gonna win the game over the Brown, but I did not expect that it's gonna snow. So I'm gonna read the box score a little bit. So Russell Wilson had 21 completion, 28 attempt, 270 yard, one touchdown, and four sacked compared to James Winston, who had 18 completion, 27 of 10, 219 yard, one interception, one sack with no touchdown. It was pretty much as a run game. So Nick Chubb, he had a good game, 20 carries, 59 yard, two touchdown, and seven long compared to Um, Jalen Warren, 11 carry, 45 yard, one touchdown. Najee Harrison got 16 carry, 41 yard, and no touchdown. Now for the receiving, Calvin Austin the third had three reception, 78 yard, one touchdown. George Pickens he had four reception, 48 yard, and no touchdown. Compared to the Kieran Brown, who by the way, they had no touchdown but a receiving. It was pretty much like I said, it was pretty much a defensive side. Like I said, actually, I was said that on my previous video before I delete it all. Um, so um, so what did I think about this game? Yes, like I said, it was a defensive game. It was a defensive game. In my previous audio, when I talked about it, I said this: there's three things that can happen. Rather, it's going to be the Steelers offense, the Steelers defense, and the Cleveland defense. And I did not believe the Cleveland offense because Jameis Winston, because they're not good at offense. But they did with the run game with Nick Chubb, two touchdowns, like I said, two touchdowns. I believe it was 78 yard, 78 yard, 78 yard. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, no, 59 yard. My bad. Sorry, 59 yard for Nick Chubb, and you can see how it was emotional for him to come back and have two touchdowns. But also, it was very snowy, and I gotta admit that playing on the snow as an NFL player gotta be a little bit amazing. With exception if you play in Buffalo, because there are a lot of blizzard in the snow. So if I'm a player who live in Buffalo or an opponent team try to go against the Buffalo Bill in the snow, it's not gonna be pretty. But like I said, it was a defensive side of the game, and when I talked, actually I said it before I deleted. I talked about how T.J. Watt and Miles Garrett they were beefing on social media, but I think Miles Garrett was pretty much the MVP of this game. Miles Garrett, if I look at Miles Garrett, defensive side, if I can find it. Yes, Miles Garrett did a lot of sack. Uh, he had like what? Hit the 3 times he sacked the quarterback 3 times. So that shows you that the defense was legit. The Cleveland Brown defense always been legit. So the Cleveland Browns should get like a um be like what like the Baltimore Raven, as a running game and a defensive game. That's how that's the Browns' identity, just like the Baltimore Raven. Defense and a run game. That's it. Now for the Steelers, they yes, the Cleveland Brown won the game. They snap I believe a 5 game win streak, 5 game win streak against the Steelers. But to me, like and this is why I hate this generation. If you heard the press conference of George Pickens, what he said that because of the weather they lost. I'm paraphrasing something like that. But I will say this: all my life, even though I didn't watch back in the 2000 football game, I never heard a Steelers player said, "Oh, we lost because of the weather." You get used to it, or you don't play. So that statement of George Pickens is pretty much ridiculous. on my hand. So that's all I'm gonna say for this game. For this game, and I hope the Steelers could go back to the drawing board and restart all over. Now, moving on the next topic. That's what I did. I have to delete it. We talked about I talked about LeBron James. Not quitting, but take a time off on social media because there's a lot of negativity. Rich Clint made a statement on X, formerly Twitter, which I will share it right now on on X, formerly Twitter, and this is here what he said on his social media. So I'll grow a little bit. So he said, with so much hate and negativity in the world today, it confused me why some of national sport media still think that the best way to cover sport through the negativity takes. We can all acknowledge that sport is the last part of society that universally brings people together. So why can't the coverage do the same? It's only clickbait when you say it. When the platform is so big, you can't make the change and allow us all an escape from real life negativity. I, for one, find it all a waste of breath. The Olympic and JJ and Braun show what the future on what this can and should all be. And LeBron on his social media responded with an amen on his social media to Rich Kleiman, who is the manager of Kevin Durant and his and board game. So first take, it was on Thursday. First take, Stephen A. Smith, Brian Windhorst, and Molly Karam discussed about LeBron James quitting take a time off of social media, and what Richard Clayman said on his ex formerly Twitter. So I'm not gonna do what I did last time to go on YouTube channel and play the full clip. I will get the the extra what Stephen A. Smith said, and we're gonna conclude. Actually we're gonna conclude with it. So for further notice, let's listen what Stephen A. Smith got to say.
Situation is people sitting on their perches, looking down upon the commoners, highlighting how, oh my Lord, can't we be better? Can't we be more positive? Wow, how did you become successful? It wasn't just playing. It was learning to feed off of the narrative to build your own brand and your own cachet so you could disseminate. Then you go out there and you got other people having podcasts and stuff like that. What role you played?
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, this is I believe that was not Friday. That was Thursday. That was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Also with Brian Windhorst, but also with Kimberly A. And one of the McCarty brothers. So, but this is not the one I'm talking about. But I'll digress. Then I'll go find the other one. So let's listen to this.
Sponsoring them, what they bring to the table, and maximizing through monetization what they would bring to the table in this industry. But then you gonna sit up there and go like this, well, we could be better. Wendy's right. Wendy's genuine. He's talking to us about storytelling, about recapturing the balance. No problem. Yes. Wendy, my brother, got you. You totally right. I don't want to hear that nonsense from them. Who the hell y'all think y'all talking to with your hypocritical asses? You ain't getting away with that. You off of this. You profited off of this. We hoping to make the kind of money they made already. not just by playing, but by the way you've manipulated the proceedings to position yourself to gain even further cachet. And then after you do that, all of a sudden you throw up your hands going, what's wrong with us? Can't we be better? Can't we be more positive? That's the BS that needs to be called in the carpet. Play basketball, handle your business, save the lecture for other people when you're fed off of it all of these years. That's my any comment about it.
No, I
So you heard what's, and I'll find the second video. Then, then I will. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. So let's. I want to pause a little bit. Then I will. I want to. I'm gonna pause it. Then we're gonna play it right now. I'm playing right now. This is the one I was talking about.
Folks that will want you to avoid even talking about the game in a negative fashion because they're of this mindset that it would protect their brand, which gets us to another point. Yeah. You really have an agenda. Because what you want to do is make sure that, listen, excuse the analogy, Molly, but you've got a lot of people out there, Wendy, that literally will pass gas and want you to say it's perfume. Literally, in today's sports world. And that's where it becomes a bit egregious. So when you take that into consideration and you just label the national media in that regard without being specific about who you're talking about, that's a negative stigma that I think should be challenged that will want you.
Let's listen again. That I'm not. You know what? Let me see. Let me see if I can find another video of Stephen A. Smith where he said, "If it's not, I'm gonna pray again, not for the second time." So let's listen it again.
That will want you to avoid even talking about the game in a negative fashion because they're of this mindset that it would protect their brand, which gets us to another point. Yeah. You really have an agenda. Because what you want to do is make sure that, listen, excuse the analogy, Molly, but you've got a lot of people out there, Wendy, that literally will pass gas and want you to say it's perfume. Literally, in today's sports world. And that's where it becomes a bit egregious. So when you take that into consideration and you just label the national media in that regard without being specific about who you're talking about, that's a negative stigma that I think should be challenged.
So you heard what Stephen A. Smith said on First Take. To me, it's just simple. I think we when I talk about media, I talk about a podcaster, I talk about a national TV, even former athlete who got a podcast, athlete who got a podcast, fan on social media. We got to be held ourselves accountable because yes, the social media is not a place to talk about your life. Social media is not a place to you guys can say negative stuff for as an individual person. You can criticize me. You can criticize me on my game. Yes, I sorry. I can score like 5 point, like 5 point. I got 2 to 25 field goal made, 0 for 10 3 point. That I'm okay. But what we're not gonna do, I myself, who is new on a podcasting, and a YouTuber on my podcast, Too Good to Be True podcast. What I'm not gonna do is criticize criticize your personal life because it's outrageous than people on social media, even podcaster, former athlete of today, try to criticize something, something negativity, and also it's not just podcaster, even athlete, you guys brought it up to yourself. We talk about what we want to talk about now. LeBron James quitting social media. Why are we talk about LeBron James more? Because he has his son, Bronny James. Not. I mean, he's a 55th pick in the NBA draft. We got this great moment of him and his father playing in the same uniform in NBA, never been done before, which is a great story. But at the same time, we're like, wait a minute, this is manufactured. It's pretty much forced. It's pretty much nepotism, which I don't really give a damn about nepotism. It is what it is. But we heard that more. That Bronny James not going to play an away game. He's going to play a home game. He's going to be playing the G League, which everybody knew we are going to play. He's going to play in the G League. But this is all LeBron James' fault. LeBron James, the King James' fault, because you, sir, you were the one who said my son is better than half the people in the NBA. Which I'm gonna look at Bronny James stat, and I'm gonna look at Bronny James stat right now on my phone right now. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at Bronny James um I'm just gonna look at it right now. Bronny James. Okay, I found it. Bronny James. Bronny James this season. This season. Wait, did this one keep bugging? But I know he's but I know he's averaging like what? Like he's yeah, okay. He's averaging 0.7 point, 0.2 rebound, 0.3 assist. This is the 55th pick. Yes, I understand he had a cardiac arrest. We're not gonna lie, he had a cardiac arrest. But listen what I said. This is NBA. 0.7 point, 0.2 rebound, 0.3 assist. Think about that. This is uh NBA. Now, if I look at the G League right now, I'm gonna look at his stat. I'm gonna look at his stat right now. Right now, I'm just looking at his stats. I'm gonna look at his stats. I just looking at it right now. I'm gonna look at my phone. His stats, players. If I can find the players. Yes, players. James. Hold on, Bronny. Bronny James. Well, I know he's playing for the. I'm gonna look for the team. I know he's playing for the. Uh. Where is it? Where it's Sunday Lakers. I look at the roster. I know he's not playing the G League, but wait, let me ask Siri something. Hey Siri, can you look at the a series? A series. Can you look at Bronny James stats in the G League? I'm gonna look at it right now because this is I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about it. So Bronny J, yes, he's averaging 5 point, 2.5 rebound, 3 assists on the G League. And let me repeat that again. He's averaging 5 point, 2.5 rebound, and 3 assists. And I know, yes, he's not an NBA. He's not ready to play in the big in the league. We all know that. But what I'm saying is like um LeBron, this is on you too. So you have to be held accountable too. And yes, yes. Do we wish we had the balance? Do you wish we have the balance? Sorry, my apologize. I was coughing. So do you wish we had the balance? Yes, 100%. 100%. We need the balance. We need the balance in social life, like with the media, so with national TV, podcaster, and what, and for and actually in life general, yes. And I agree that the majority on social media is very negative. It's very cruel. What if you ask me why? I don't know. It's life. But we also have to hold also ourselves accountable. If athletes should hold themselves accountable, we also as social media, as society, we have to hold ourselves accountable. Come on, I am losing my voice. But you know what I'm talking. But you know what I'm talking about. So that's all I gotta say about that. But if an athlete wants to take a time off, just take a time off on social media. Back even back in the day. I remember back in the day in the 2000, we had the internet. For the people, this new generation don't know that back in the day we did have the internet. We did have the internet, but we didn't have social media until we had like what, MySpace. Was something. I don't think this generation know what was MySpace. Some of y'all who's in the millennial, who's in this teenagers who are in their 20s don't even know what the hell was MySpace. What was MSN? Oh, Yahoo.com, because people used to have email Yahoo.com back during the day, back in the day. Now then, in the late 2000, Facebook, Twitter was coming up. That was their social media. Now that social media is exploding, and people got their opinion. Everybody from athletes, from entertainment, politician, even terrorists, from the crying out loud, and the average people have their own opinion. Everybody got a voice. Everybody got a microphone. Everybody got that. So that is pretty much normal in society right now. But this I gotta say this: we as podcaster, YouTubers, average people, former athletes who got podcasts, current athletes who got their podcasts, we have to hold ourselves accountable. That's all I gotta say for this topic. Moving on from this topic, I want to talk about uh the um college football ranking of the playoff. So I wanna share I'm gonna share the top 25 25. So top 25 team uh playoff ranking. I'm gonna share it right now with you guys. And also I'm gonna look on my phone too, because I want to read, I want to read it at the same time you guys can listen to it. So if you look at the ranking, the top 25, I just want to grow it. The top 25 team, um, the top 25 team of the college football game. You got all those teams, but if you look at the playoff ranking, if I can find it, the playoff ranking, I think I can find it. Wait, the playoff ranking, I have to find it. I have to find it. Or let me see the playoff ranking. The playoff ranking right now. I'm gonna look at it. So there's this is the what the playoff ranking right now. But I'm gonna give you the bracket. I tried to look for the bracket. The bracket. Even though while the game's still going on, we have a touchdown. I just wanted to breaking news right now. We have a touchdown of of Kansas Jayhawks over the Colorado Buffalo, 36-21. Even though they're not ranked, they can knock them out, not be in the playoffs. So anything can happen. So let me look at college football. Uh, college football. I think I can find it. Yeah, the playoff bracket. I don't know if I can find it. I'm gonna look for it right now. There it is. There it is.
The college football playoff will feature 12 teams
Oh,
beginning.
I don't. This is not me. I don't know where that video come from. I don't know where that video come from, but no, not this one. I don't think it was that one. If I can find it, it's not this website. Sorry, my bad. I tried to look at the bracket. If I can find it, let's go to the college football rank playoff bracket right now on the website because this is interesting. This is very interesting right now because with the playoff bracket, I know you guys cannot see it. I know you guys cannot see it uh, on on the on the on visual, but but wait, hold on. I think I can find it. I can find it. Give me a second. You know. Uh, yeah. Okay. There it is. If I can, if I can find it, I believe it's this one. Week 13. Yeah. Yeah. There it is. This is the one. This is the one. I don't know if I can grow it. I don't know if I can grow. Oh, there it is. I can grow it. Okay. Maybe I will not going to put it on on video. Maybe I'll do it like next time. But this is the bracket this is the bracket. So according to the NCAA, so you got Boise State. Like I said, Boise State, Texas, Miami, Miami, and who else? Miami, Boise State, Oregon, Miami, and Texas. They're pretty much safe. They're pretty much safe on the playoff bracket. But because this year, this is the first time that we're gonna have a 12 team bracket team, a 12th bracket team. So it's gonna be very interesting. But if you look at my issue, look at this. This is my issue right now with this playoff ranking. Why Penn State and Indiana, Notre Dame, even Miami? Why they're in the top 10? I mean, if you look at the Indiana team. Yes, and for the people who don't know, yes, just I'm gonna update that uh they did play against Ohio, and they lost. They lost to Ohio 38-15. But if you take away Ohio, because this is pretty much the toughest match, if you look at their schedule, they had nobody. They haven't even faced nobody like a tougher opponent until Ohio State with a loss, by the way, too. So I don't understand why uh uh um Indiana are in the top five. Yes, yes, the streak is over, by the way, too. So even though even Penn State, look at Penn State. I mean, Penn State got no business to be in the in the top five. Even though it said yes, it said that they have no business, and yet they had an easier schedule. But look at who they lost. They lost to Ohio State, the toughest opponent. And also every time Penn State faced Ohio, and this I'm gonna be honest. Every time they face against Ohio, they always lose to Ohio. They always lose to Ohio State. So this is my that's also my issue with it with Penn State. Another issue I have it is actually there's another one, but this one is another issue. Notre Dame. Notre Dame is independent. They don't have any conference. They don't have any conference. Yes, and for those people want to look at it, yes, the game is still on. The game is still on, so it still continue. We're updating right now. They're gonna update it, but Notre Dame also they had no business to be in the top 10, and they had the easiest schedule in the program. Right now, they're gonna face a couple like a couple 30 minutes. They're gonna face Army. They're gonna face Army in their home turf. I believe they're gonna be in their home turf. Yes, they're in the home turf. I believe. Don't challenge me. But Notre Dame, as independent as they are, they have no business to be in the top 10. And what's sad about it is Georgia. Georgia had the most difficult a difficult schedule on the roster, not on the roster in the schedule. That yeah, they lost to Alabama and Ole Smith, but they had the toughest schedule of of the in college football, and they just won against Massachusetts, by the way, too. Just won to break that record. Not break that record, just breaking the point. I don't know what the how did I don't know how the process start for the the playoff ranking. I don't understand. I Yes, Oregon should be number one. I'm gonna admit that they're undefeated. They're undefeated. Colorado out there, they're playing right now. They're probably gonna lose the game, but they're probably gonna be out. And And I'm glad that they don't have any bowl game because I think what's going on, and this is another topic I want to talk about the bowl game. I never watched a bowl game in my life. The bowl game the everybody's talking about the documented is the Rose Bowl between Oklahoma Sooner versus the Texas Longhorn with Vince Young in it and Reggie Bush. And I think the bowl game is pretty much meaningless because if the team do not make the playoff, I mean, last season, last year, it happened last year. Um, you had Florida State versus Georgia, and normally Florida should have make it to the playoff last year, but they didn't. They went to the bowl game, and yeah, they got dismantled by Georgia, 63 to nothing. But you can see the face expression of the Florida State what's the point to be in the bowl game if we don't make it to the playoff? And also for the athlete who's going to be in the draft, also they say it's meaningless. But for that, sorry, my bad. For that, I have a solution for that. How can we fix the bowl game? I think for once we have to like add in the playoff a 16 team game. Every 16 team game should have the first round. You don't play the second round in the quarterfinals. We need like what? Yeah, in the quarterfinal, we can have like the two team who save can play in the bowl game. Just add the bowl game in the quarterfinals. hmm and play the bowl game. The winner of the team not only to win the bowl game, they advance to the semifinals and then to go to the finals. So that's my opinion. But but that's I don't know what solution is. Do something with the bowl game or get rid of it completely. That's the only thing I can suggest. So that's all I gotta say for the college football. Uh, Before we change the topic, I want to talk about the the update of the college football game right now. So I'm gonna put it on my phone right there on my phone. I'm gonna update you guys. So I'm a HBCU fan, so I'm gonna update if people are HBCU fan. So Jackson State versus Alcorn State. Jackson State is leading 48-10 against Alcorn State. Uh, Alabama State versus Prairie View. They're 9-6 against Prairie View. Sorry, my bad. Alabama State are ahead of Prairie View 9-6. Now they're in the fourth quarter. 2 minute warning. Um, uh, RA Pin Bluff versus Texas Southern. Actually Arkansas. My bad. Arkansas Pin Bluff versus Texas Southern. Texas Southern is leading Arkansas Pin Bluff 24-16. F- Florida AM versus Bethune. Um, Florida AM is leading Bethune 34-31. Natural, yes, North Carolina Central versus Delaware State. North Carolina Central won versus the Delaware 52-10. Alabama AM versus Mississippi Valley State 49-35. Win for Alabama. Morgan State win against the Howard 35-21. Albany versus the Hampton. Uh, Albany won against the Hampton 49-34. North Carolina State defeated Norfolk State 53-21. Yes, the game has just been over. Yeah, Texas Southern beat Arkansas Pin Bluff 31-23. Alabama State beat Prairie View 9-6. Um, what else? What else? On the college football on the college football right now. Updating. Let me just looking for the football right now. Football. So Texas is leading Kentucky 24-14. Penn State is leading 26-25 against Minnesota. BYU Arizona State is leading 28-23 against BYU. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Kansas leading 37-21 against Colorado. Clemson is leading 51-14 against Citadel. South Carolina leading against uh Wolford 42-12. Missouri is leading 31-20 against Mississippi State. We had the game is already finished. UNLV win against San Jose State 27 to 16. Um, yeah, Ohio State beat Indiana 38-15. Miami Hurricane beat Wake Forest 42-14. Florida beat a ranking team. Um, oh damn! This the update that they have intercepted. They have intercepted. I mean, this is a bad game for Colorado. I don't know what would happen because, like I said, the playoff was going to be very interesting. Very, I know, the ball was already on the ground. So, the ball already on the ground. Colorado State versus Kansas in Arrowhead. I might say, but let's continue. Like I said, Florida, I'm not embarrassed, but upset Ollie Smith, the number 9 ranking. SMU defeat Virginia 33-7. Illinois defeated Rutgers 38-21. Georgia defeated, like I said, Massachusetts 59-21. Tennessee beat actually dismantled UTEP 56-0. And the rest of the game they will start in like what in 17 minutes. One 17 minutes in 17 minutes and in 1 hour, and also other game in 1 hour. That's the update of uh of uh the college football. So so moving on the college football, let's talk about the NFL right now. We heard the news that Daniel Jones has been released from the New York Giants, and he will be replaced by the QB of last year, Tommy DeVito, a backup QB for the New York Giants. What is my thought? I think it's a little bit too late, a little bit too late right now, and I just want to share the statement. I want to share the statement right now because this is going to be interesting. Right, I'm going to share the statement what the New York Giants said about his release. So let's read it. The statement of from the Giant president John Mara on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones came to see me this morning and asked if we would release him. We mutually agreed that we would be the best for him and for the team. Daniel has been a great representative of our organization, first class in every way. He handling of the situation yesterday exemplified just that. We are all disappointed in how things have worked out, and we hold Daniel on a high regard, have a great appreciation for him. We wish nothing but the best in his future. So yes, yes, yeah. You see Donald. You see a lot of Giant fans are happy to see this. You see Donald Trump dancing. What an idiot! I mean, what an idiot to see Donald Trump dancing. I gotta admit that Donald Trump dancing. I tried to do the dance too. I tried to do the dance. But yeah. I do it. Yeah. Yeah. I move on. I move on. With the Donald Trump with the dance. I mean, social media is undefeated. I mean, so undefeated. But yes, I see yesterday on first day they talked about it, and, and let me give my thought first, then I'll give my video. I think the New York Giants is a bad organization. They're the worst organization in the NFL. I'm not going to compare to the Jacksonville Jaguar. I'm not going to compare to a lot of those bad organizations. But the New York Giants are a mess, and they need to start to find a new QB in the draft. Do I wish Daniel Jones back in the NFL? Yeah. Do I wish that you start for the QB? No, he's a backup QB. Even back then when Dan Jones got drafted in 2019, a lot of the Giant fans were not happy at all. They were not happy at all of New York Giants drafting Daniel Jones. And what made it worse that you guys, I believe. Let me look at Daniel Jones' salary. How much? Let me look at uh, uh, Daniel Jones contract. Contract. Uh, I don't remember how much he got paid. Yes, yes, it was 4 year, $160 million. Yeah, it was 4 year. He had the Giant paid re-signed him 4 year for 160 million extension over Saquon Barkley. That Saquon was the guy of the New York Giants, your number one option. You're not the number one option of the team. For that, that was a slap in the face of Saquon Barkley, and I'm glad he left. He left because he went to a better team in the Eagle in the same division. But this is all the John Mara's fault. So so this is what happened when you got a bad franchise, don't know what to do, don't know what to do, and also that um and uh, also it's also Daniel Jones' fault because you should have said that um I appreciate for the 4 year extension, but I prefer to give it to Saquon Barkley. That was uh, our guy. He took us to the playoffs and so on and so forth. But let's listen what on first take what Stephen A. Smith said about the release of Daniel. Uh, actually, you know what? Before that, Alan Dunk, ESPN, that the Giants also complained about ESPN executive complained about Duncan mocking Daniel Jones. So I want to listen to this, then I'll continue of my opinion. So let's listen.
Because this is a performance-based business. Nobody's talking about your personal life. Nobody's gotten into anything. Your performance was put on public display, and you were 20 games under 500. You have been abhorrent. You have been awful as the quarterback for the New York Giants. And on top of it all, they let go of Saquon Barkley to make sure they took care of you. They gave you the bag instead of him, which is another blemish. But here's the biggest thing, and I'm going to end it by saying the New York Giants, respectfully, shut the hell up. Y'all are awful as an organization. You won a Super Bowl in 2007. You won a Super Bowl in 2011. Outside of that, since 2011, the Giants have made, that's 13 years. The Giants have made the playoffs twice. They won one playoff game. And you got the nerve to sit up there and put on and call the officers and complain to executives about somebody that went on national television to do their job. Why don't you do your damn job as an organization? Y'all are sorry.
Agreed. Agree on that one.
Damn playoffs in 2010. And you got the nerve to sit up there and call the network because you want to whine and moan about your ineptitude being put on public display. Well, maybe if you let people watch it for free and then charge them for coming to watch your sorry asses, maybe you would have been in a position to say something, but you didn't. Go to break.
Thanks. I love Stephen A. Smith, but I agree. Giant, hey, the Giant organization. I also got something to say. Also, do your job. Do your job instead of complaining. Call the ESPN executive to blame L Duncan, who, by the way, she's doing a phenomenal job, and I mean a phenomenal job on ESPN and with her podcast. She got every right. Every right to call the situation the situation with Donald Jones. So the Giants are a bad organization. It's a bad organization, and I don't feel sorry for them. If you're a Giant fan, I can understand. Do not show up on the MetLife Stadium. Do not show up because this franchise is an embarrassing. Like since 2011, y'all did not make the playoffs until 2016, and you won one playoff game. And I remember the playoff game with Odell Beckham and Victor Cruz. They were in Miami after the win. All the rest of the team went to the Miami, uh, 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 and stood up and take a picture in the yacht. That's the last time that actually that's the last time they won a playoff game. Actually, yeah, I think it's that. But also there was 2 year I think 2 years ago. Also the Giant won a playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings. So their track record of drafting and also handling player, it is not good at all. You got rid of Odell Beckham Jr. because you say he was a headache. You got rid of Saquon Barkley because you guys did not pay him like what he asked. You bench Eli Manning. And I remember that you bench Eli Manning. You bench Eli Manning from it. So I don't know what to say. If you're a Giant fan, I will feel bad for you. Do not show up at MetLife Stadium. But I want to listen. I want to listen. Saquon Barkley, his reaction of uh of of Daniel Jordan release got released. So let's listen what he got to say.
Yeah, I'm not gonna speak too much on that. Our friendship is because sucks to see. Down there. I got nothing but great things to say about him. I'm not gonna really find anybody that can really say a lot of negative things about him. NFL. Hopefully, wherever he ends up next, gonna get a guy who come in and work and it worked for me over there. And, hopefully, he can find the same kind of fresh run success.
So you hear what he Saquon Barkley said. He got nothing but love for him. As look at the record, he is a 6 year, 6 season with the Giants. He's 20. He won 24 games, lost 44 games, and won. That's how I tell you how the GMC how people see Daniel Jones. So I got nothing to say about that. I got nothing to say about that. But but it is what it is. Before we leave, I just want to update the NBA the NBA who's playing tonight. I'm gonna update the NBA right now. The game. So so we got the Knicks versus the Jazz. Jazz are leading against the Knicks 66-51 at their halftime. Tonight tonight we have the Detroit Pistons versus the Orlando Magic, Charlotte Hornets versus the Milwaukee Bucks, Trailblazers versus the Rockets, Grizzly versus the Bulls, the Golden State Warriors versus the San Antonio Spurs, and the Nuggets versus the Lakers. Um, that's for the game that's gonna happen tonight, and for the college football game. Let's a little bit update. Texas is leading against the Kentucky 31-14. Arizona State and BYU are actually they're actually not tied. They're is lead Arizona State leading BYU 28-23. Second, Kansas leading Colorado 21 37-21. South Carolina is leading Woodford 42-12. Missouri is leading Mississippi State 31-20. And that's it. That's it. So thank you very much for listening to this podcast. Make sure to listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or or you want to see it, me visual on my YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, notify, leave your comment, share with your friend, and comment it on the community or on my video. If you want to follow me on social media, follow me on X formerly Twitter at Belly PMM. Let me repeat that one last time at Belly PMM. Or you can follow me on Instagram Pascal underscore Mayala underscore 15. I do share it in the beginning of my video when I released on my YouTube channel. So I want you guys to do this favor. And that being said, thank you very much to listen to this podcast. And I'll see you next time. And don't forget, I will be live on my Instagram to give my prediction. Week 4, I believe we're week 4. I mean, yeah, week 13 of. I mean, just look at it for one last time before we leave for the NFL. Da 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 da. I don't know what I'm thinking, but the NFL like yes, week 12. Sorry, week 12 of the NFL. So thank you very much for listening. I'll see you next time.